Can you talk about your staying power? How have you been able to be so active in the scene for so long?
Parang basketball lang yan siguro sa mga mahilig sa mag-basketball. Kaya nila mag-basketball every week. Di ba? Alam nila yung basketball cards, alam nila lahat ng mga players. It's just doing your thing, be true to yourself, do the things you love, don't compromise because of what you watch or see. Hindi mo kailangan maging viral. Alam mo yun? Hindi mo kailangan magkaroon ng maraming hits. That doesn't matter. What matters, what you bring out. You deliver what you say.
Welcome to the Able Podcast, where we sit down with musicians and industry professionals to talk about the creative process, new developments in the music business, and everything in between. Our goal here is simple: to provide practical advice and valuable insight to help you navigate the world of music no matter where you are on your journey. My name is Enzo, and today's guest is Diego Mapa. Diego is a multi-talented musician known for his work with bands like Pedicab, Eggboy, and Tarsius. He's also one of the most prolific artists today. We sat down with Diego to dive into his creative process and learn how he stays so active in the music scene. Diego,
Right.
thank you for making time, man.
Yes, thank you.
Natuloy din tayo.
Oh, tama. Thank you for having me.
Oh, hey, so Diego, what's up, man? You guys just released a single sa Pedicab. What are you up to now? What are you working on?
Still working on new Pedicab stuff, which is nandun lang siya. Kailangan tapusin din yun. Also working with another artist with another single, which I still can't reveal. I just finished working with Kevin De La Cruz film, which is most likely showing now in Berlin, which is called Makamisa. It's a Kevinized rendition of Rizal's lost novel, parang gano'n. And also working on my mini record store, which is Rosano Records. I'm also active with Eggboy Live and Tarsius, which we also released a single a few months ago. Also on the side, DJing once in a while as D-Maps or the Jegos. And also on the side, working on client audio music-related projects.
Alright, so we'll talk about that later, how you split your time. No? So, but let's start at the beginning. Very
yes.
good place to start. So
Yes.
you started out in the music scene in 1997. How did you get your start there?
97, my first band was Monster Bot. No? So these are my classmates in high school. So that's how I got into the live scene, playing originals. Our first gig was in actually Yosh Cafe with a different name, but when we became Monster Bot was in Sunday Grabe Sunday in Merrick's.
Classic.
Yeah, so from there we met Sandwich. I knew Raymond Marasigan before through a college interview. Interview ko siya. But doon kami officially nag-hangout, uminom, magkasama, I guess. And then, nagusto niya yung Monster Bot and he proposed na gusto niya i-produce. At that time, dapat indie yung production, na siyang magre-record lahat sa bahay niya. But eventually, our friend Quark Henares, our then manager, was able to bag us a record label deal.
Major label.
Which is with MC Universal. So we didn't have to fund anymore our recording. Our debut, which is Destroy. Yun, lumabas siya sa Universal MCA. So after that, tuloy-tuloy na yung bubuin ko ba lahat ng time?
Hindi naman. Sige.
Okay. Kasi pag binuo natin yung medyo matagal.
Pero sige, doon muna tayo sa Monster Bot. They say musicians or artists in general, it takes a few years to find their voice. When do you think you found yours as a musician?
Finding a voice, parang until now is actually I'm still finding my voice. I think maybe to other people they think na I've found it. pero yes, it takes time. Actually, to find your voice, dapat gawin mo lang yung gusto mong gawin in music. I mean, you should please yourself first. And then everything will follow eh. Parang mag-gravitate na yung mga people na gusto yung music mo. Lalapit yun sa'yo. They will approach you. Even then your music is like noise, pure noise, or yun, alam mo yun, parang ambient, or not even in the pop spectrum eh. So, lalapit yung mga may gusto ng ginagawa mo as long as you become true to yourself. Yun.
Ganda
Yun.
na. Ang ganda na. And yeah, as you said, gawin mo lang yung gusto mo, may lalapit. And true enough, ang daming lumapit sa'yo, ang daming naging banda, ang daming naging... how did you transition from Monsterbot to Cambio to Pedicab? And sige, ano muna tayo?
Right.
Cambio muna tayo.
So, Cambio. So, I was already working with Raymond with Monsterbot. And then, when the Eraserheads separated before, which we all know this story naman. No? So, it's not like parang chismis. Hindi mo to chismis.
Spoiler alert.
Parang yung si Raymond and Buddy, they wanted to finish the bookings of the Eraserheads.
So may pre-signed contract.
Oh, kasi they suddenly separated. So, nagbuo sila ng banda na sabihin na natin super band to finish the backlog of already booked gigs. So, in comes Chris Gora Dancel of Fatal Phosphorus, and then Ebe Dancel of Sugar Free, and then me. And so, while we were doing that, meron na silang mga ginagawang tracks, na buong tracks, which eventually became Cambio tracks. Yun. So
ito yung mga DV.
Yes, yung mga DV. Pero yung DV, nung ako nagsuot ng DV eh. Pero meron na silang ibang tracks eh. Which I can't remember the titles now. Pero
Sa dami mong ginagawa.
pero yung album na yun, yung debut, yung Derby Light, marami na doon na parang as Eraserheads with Chris singing.
Oh,
so
okay.
so na naging Cambio. So yun. And then si Jason Cabalya and Mike Dison had a project band na parang a dance band, guitar-oriented dance band. Na sabihin natin mga Strokes, yung mga B-52s, New Wave.
Saya.
Ganun. Tapos they wanted to collaborate with Raymond, which Raymond had a Gorillaz type project na working with R.A. Rivera na parang gagawin yata parang si Raymond yung music tapos si R.A. Rivera yung image ng lo-fi Gorillaz eh. Parang siya yung image ng...
Okay.
Dahil puro music videos lang gagawin ni R.A. Parang ganun.
So puro visuals.
Oh, visuals lang siya. So, ang nangyari, parang in-invite nila Mike, si Rames sa project. And then, in-infuse na yung dalawang projects together.
Okay.
So, which ended up Raymond playing bass synth dahil parang may bago siyang bass synth na vintage.
Pinagtitripan niya.
Tapos, so kailangan ng singer, doon ako pumasok. Actually, nung naalala ko pa nga yung pinaka-moment na nung in-invite nila ako eh. Parang we were in a gig eh. Tapos sabi niya, gusto mo bang kumanta na ganito? May bago kaming band na ganyan. Tapos sabi ko pa nga, naalala ko yung words ko kay Raymond, or sa kanila, magbubuo na naman tayo ng bagong banda. So parang, syempre yes naman ako. Kasi parang, kasi makakasama ko si R.A. Jason, Mike naman eh, di ba? So parang, mga idol ko rin to eh, di ba? Parang naniniwala din ako sa craft nila. So, yun, nag-yes din ako.
Okay, so yun nga, pag-usapan na natin. How do you handle those multiple projects? Yun nga, ngayon may Eggboy ka pa, may Tarsius ka pa. How do you make time? Bukod pa sa pagiging dad, husband, how do you handle all those things?
Well, parang isa sa buhay mo lang siya. Well, dati may day job pa ako. Imagine mo yun. Parang, pero eventually, parang when you nagkaroon ka na ng confidence to do I can earn with this, doing this, but I have to do it all the same time. Parang ganun eh. May schedule ako. That's one important thing.
So you follow a strict
schedule. Tapos parang, I'm very serious with the schedule. Parang dapat hindi babangga to sa ganito. And like that.
So like now, di ba, we have to...
Parang di ba, parang ito. So, also with the bands, parang now that Cambia is not that active, so parang I was able to form another band like Tarsius. And then after the pandemic, medyo yung scheduling ngayon of playing is na, and my age na rin ako. Alright? My age na rin ako. Parang I choose already weekends or some certain gigs parang to play.
Earlier time
Na
slots.
parang you're able to flesh it out which band you're gonna put or you're gonna invest this time with playing, ganon. So, hindi na ako not like before the pandemic na parang halos Monday to Saturday, nagbubook ka ng gig, parang you choose na rin your battles, kumbaga, di ba? Parang, when I play this gig, parang, what's in it for me?
So
diba?
you're thinking whether it's worth your time.
Parang, not money-wise.
Not monetary.
Parang kung mag-enjoy ba ako or the next day, I have to submit something, parang I have to sleep. Yung mga ganun ba? That's how I have to bring my kids to school. Parang, yun yung kasama, why will I play that gig? Parang ganun. Yun, scheduling lang talaga. Talagang, na inisip ko, wala akong masasagasaan na tao, or parang sasabit ako dito sa work ko, ganun. So, disciplined, talaga. And to hold that, what you want to do, kailangan i-hold mo yung discipline of scheduling.
So when you say schedule, do you work in creative work, songwriting into that schedule, or is that something that comes?
Yung songwriting for my projects, parang yun, it has to come in naturally. That's for me. I don't know how other artists do it. Parang me, while doing some work or driving, may idea ako. And then it comes to the point na i-execute ko na siya. Parang, ito na talaga, i-execute ko na, buo na siya eh. Parang gano'n, or a riff, or whatever. And that, kailangan mo rin mag-schedule na, hindi naman, I don't schedule time to do that thing, pero dapat natural lang yung lalabas. Kanya, usually lalabas yun on a Sunday night na wala akong ginagawa, or parang,
you're doing something else.
Yung kids ko lahat nasa school, or on my most free time na natural lang, ganun. I value creativity na spontaneous eh. So dapat iba yung creativity na kailangan mo magtrabaho. Yung parang gagawa ko ng jingle. Parang kailangan mo talaga gawin yan kasi kundi hindi ka babayaran. So iba rin yun. Pero syempre, iba rin yung discipline yun. Kailangan mo okay, think of something now. Parang okay yan. Pero because vina-value ko nga yung bands ko, yung music na spontaneous creativity. Yun, sinasave ko yun for these projects na I give more value.
Okay, so can we stay there for a bit? So you said spontaneous creativity. Can you walk us through your process when you write a song? Nasabi mo nga off camera nung yung ginagawa niyo yung Tugis Takish, halos tapos na yung mga kanta, di ba? You came in and but yung later on, putting a song together, what's that like for you?
Like, it can be a riff or a lyric or something na I want to say, no? Kunyari, FX, example. Nasulat ko yun habang nasa FX na parang about usually kasi sa FX, di ba, pagka sumakay ka, tapos may sumakay na tao na kilala mo pala, forced mo siyang kausapin. Na hanggang sa buong traffic at buong kailangan mo mag-think of something, di ba? Na to keep up the vibe, gano'n. Gano'n, di ba? Yun yung concept nun. So sinulat ko lang yung...
May nakitang...
yun yung lagi na lang, parang lagi na, nandito siya, dito pa tayo nagkita sa FX. So, yun yung, so, binuo ko yung lyrics muna. And then, it's a rap actually.
Yeah,
parang as if, binuo ko yung rap. Pinitch ko yata kay Rames na, na yung rap lang with the bassline actually. I made a demo. Pero hindi pa yung skinratch niya lahat ng music. Naalala ko. And then, pumasok si Jason and si Raymond. At binuo nila yung areglo behind it. Creating a chorus, ganyan, with what I had. So, parang ganon. So, example, ang pusa mo din, parang, ang sikat kasi nun, mga Lito Camo, mga spaghetti pababa, mga ganyan. So, parang, ano kaya gumawa ako nito pero parang punk, parang gano'n, or parang Chibo Mato yung dating. So,
nakamiss din yung banda niyo.
So, ganun din, lyrics lang ang dala ko doon kasi parang inisip ko gagawin nila yung ano. Meron akong naisip na ano, ito yung chorus, ito yung ano, parang tungkol sa cats pero ano pala siya, S&M pala siya.
Medyo gastos pala.
Parang ganun. Tapos parang, okay, parang ganun. So, sila yung arrangers. Yan. But with Tarsius, buo ko na yung track. Pero, minsan, buo ko na yung track. Magre-record na kami ng drums ni Jay. Magda-drum siya the whole thing. Minsan may gagawin yung drums niya na mag-change yung areglo. So I go back and then cut it up again, ganun. With Eggboy, it's all me. So Eggboy naman,
So sila Ian,
we're playing the old stuff.
Okay.
O parang kaming para kaming revival band, sort of. Pero ito, buo ko na yung tracks.
Okay.
Kasi 4-track yun eh. 4-track demos, ganyan. So now, kasi nagkaroon ng demand yung Eggboy eh. Parang nagkaroon ng resurgence. And then, so parang, actually I didn't even, parang the people came to me, oh, you should play. You
didn't start releasing stuff kaya nagka-demand? It was just...
No, I was releasing stuff on CDRs and putting it, kumbaga kahit walang demand, nilalagay ko pa rin siya sa mga Spotify or Bandcamp and stuff like that. Pero nung nagkaroon din ng demand after ng pandemic, na parang, but we were playing live once in a while.
The most crowd.
Pero pagka, parang ngayon, parang nagkakaroon ng invitations parate. Parang nasa akin ganoon eh. Parang, hindi ako naghahanap ng gig. I mean, I'm fortunate na hindi ako naghahanap ng gig. Dumarating lang sa akin yung invitation. So, for me, pag may invitation, I try to commit, submit, or parang ganun.
Honor
the invitation. Parang ganun.
Okay. Ayun, so while we're at it, nabanggit mo nga, nagkaroon ng demand for Eggboy, which quote-unquote revival band. Let's talk about how the scene has changed over those years from 97, so Cambio, Pedicab. What's going on now? What do you see in the scene right now?
Like we were talking about previously, no? Before this. Meron, the most significant na nakita ko as may kita mo na yung bands that have aged and still doing it.
Yeah.
And the newer bands. Lalo na ng after ng pandemic.
Right.
Kasi parang before the pandemic of 2 years, di ba, parang ito sa like a border eh. Parang the before and the now. Parang ganun. After that one, biglang nagkaroon ng itong mga new bands na nakikita natin. Parang suddenly, after 2 years, nagkaroon sila ng age, pinayagan na sila ng parents nila lumabas, mag-gig, na mag-commute. Siguro, nung 2 years silang nasa pandemic, parang, can I go out? Siguro sinasabi na, di ba? Parang, pwede na ba ako lumabas? Palabasin mo na ako. Kaya na ba ako magko-commute mag-isa? Yung mga ganun, di ba? So ngayon, pinalabas na sila, di ba? So, at parang, tumama siguro na 21 na sila, right drinking age na rin, di ba? Or last year na nila ng college. So ito na may new scene na ng kids na under the 30s, no? 30 years old. And then yes, it used to be us. So ngayon may parang yan na may older bands nakikihalo dito sa bagong eksena na to ng mga banda na ang saya kasi ang lakas ng energy nila, di ba? Parang opposed na to a night na pumunta ka na, it's all old bands. Nakikita mo yung nangyayari, parang lahat ito, umiinom lang to. Nakaupo lang to, or parang umuwi na maaga, or may mga iniisip na deadlines. May kita mo yung separation talaga. So, yun lang napansin ko. Yun yung, to answer your question, yun yung nangyari. And which is okay. Okay siya.
So we were talking before we started recording about how bands are making their own content. And you're doing it yourself. The Diego Mapa 10 gigs.
Yes.
Can you talk about that for a bit?
So actually I'm experimenting actually. Diego Mapa 10 gigs. It's just a video diary on Reels. My experiment into using the tools of the phone, your phone tools, ganyan, to make videos. Supposedly, yung concept ko doon, 100 gigs na fanzine. Parang gagawa ako ng sort of book na, as if gagawa ako ng autobiography, whatever. About gigs lang, puro gigs lang.
Tas
Parang,
zine yung
parang gig 1, gig 2, gig 3, hanggang 100 siya. And it's parang, hindi pa siya tapos. Anyway, so, sabi ko, kaya ko ba gumawa ng fanzine at this day of age? So, parang, video na lang, 100 gigs. So, magsa-start ako from 1 to 100 hanggang makita ng mga tao, nabuo ko siya, di ba?
Yeah.
Kaya naman masyadong mahaba naman yung 100 gigs, di ba? So, 10 gigs na lang per volume. So, I'm at my 7th. So, and tatlo na lang nandito, nasa phone ko na yung other 3.
Edit mo na lang.
So, bakit ko siya ginawa? Parang, yun nga, parang, di ba yung when we're browsing our phone, parang ang dami mong videos na nakikita na paulit-ulit lang na parang nakita ko na itong Nirvana clip na to. So I'm thinking na pag nandyan lang siya sa future, yung clip kong yon, yung 10 gigs, baka people are gonna watch it all the time or see it again, 90 seconds, di ba? Also, bakit naman papanoorin ng mga tao to na parang, kunyari, mga ibang musicians, 10 gigs lang, parang everyday nga ako tumutugtog, kaya sasabihin nila again. Hindi naman siya yung target market ko eh. Parang yung target market ko, yung mga taong hindi nakakalabas ng gig. Parang yung mga, to mention, isa ko yung mga Kuya Dags Fishing, alam niyo ba yan? Yung tungkol sa mga kumakain ng raw fish, nag-fish sila. Sabi ko, ba't ko pinapanood to, di ba? Parang, dahil wala akong dagat, hindi na nangingisda. So baka yung taong walang gig, yung exposure niya ay hindi ganun. Parang, ito pala yung gig. Ito pala yung gig. Parang ganun, di ba? So parang yun yung goal ko.
Yun yung target audience.
Oo, parang, and eventually, sana mabuo ko yung 100. And then to compile and whatever.
I mean, with the way you play, or the amount of gigs you play,
Diba, parang sayang to eh. Parang kailangan ko na rin i-document. Parang ganun.
Oo. Sige, balik lang tayo. So, yun nga, Jegs, we started in 97, still going strong. Hindi, like you mentioned, there are bands that just come out and play just to play, no? Ikaw talagang active musician for that whole stretch, no, from 1997. Can you talk about your staying power? How have you been able to be so active in the scene for so long?
Well, yun nga. This thing naman parang is like being passionate with music and playing, no? Parang basketball lang yan siguro sa mga mahilig sa mag-basketball. Di ba parang kaya nila mag-basketball every week. Di ba? Alam nila yung basketball cards, alam nila lahat ng mga players, di ba? Parang, or comic book fans, or puro comics lang yung inatupag nila, or sneakers, parang ganun. So ito yung thing ko talaga, playing out, making music. Kasi parang kami, it's just a game, or parang nag-enjoy ako making band flyers, band covers, parang inventing my sort of world na parang ito yung Sub Pop records ko in my mind. Tapos hindi ko rin alam kung ano yung at the end, no? Parang it helps pay rent and the bills, pero it's not the thing that will make me rich or buy me a house, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. It will. It will. No, but that's not the point of all of this, no. It's just doing your thing, and of course I have support of my family na sige, just do your thing, 'di ba? Kasi may mga iba diyan na what? That's what you're doing, 'di ba? Parang kailangan meron kang fallback. Yan, di ba yung mga fear natin lahat, may fallback. Aware ako dyan. But yun nga, parang you play then within your means. No? Kunyari, I know not everybody can be a 24/7 musician. No? If you need to work, mag-work ka para to support your craft nga. Parang, if actually kailangan ko gumawa ng mga jingles or mga syempre, to pay my rent and to buy strings, to buy diba? Cables, diba? Para umandar ka, diba? So, kasama yan, kailangan mong i-support yung craft mo. Ganon. Kahit yung pang-support mo ay medyo baduy, okay lang yun. Basta yung sinasupport mo, ito yung gusto mong gawin. At pwede rin yung, kung ano man ginagawa mo, it's pop, hindi siya like yung parang on the edge or, it doesn't have to be punk. Parang, basta ginagawa mo yung gusto mo.
Yan. Okay, so eto, you mentioned it, talking about buying cables, equipment. I remember you mentioned how technology has helped you live out your dreams of making electronic music and making music in general. And technology has even advanced even more since then. No? So
Right.
how has the new technology influenced your songwriting, your creative process nowadays?
Oh, it has helped a lot, definitely. Kasi you can record by your own, you can release music by your own, and of course, make videos on your own. Isa pa yun, di ba? That's the thing. Yeah, so it's very important to know your tools. It doesn't have to be the most prime time, expensive gear, as long as it helps you deliver what your aim is. Ganon. If you're a four-piece band, di ba parang okay, parang wala kang recording studio to record drums. May ways to do that eh. Sorry, you can fake the drums, you can create it, and then just be a live band and deliver it live, di ba? Or kung ayaw nyo talaga yun, yung organic band talaga kayo, kailangan nyo mag-ipon at
Oo.
mag-rent ng studio, invest ng drums kung may space kayo. So, diskarte lang yun eh.
Diskarte.
So, yung tools, importante yan. Kasi kunyari, wala kang pang-record or sabihin natin, you're into analog cassette na one mic
Oo.
and you're a folk singer, maybe that's gonna work. So,
Yeah.
depends.
Pag-usapan natin yun. Let's say someone approaches you, Diego, I want to start my own, one-man, whatever, act. I want to record in my bedroom. Bedroom producer ba? What would you, bare minimum, what would you suggest someone gets?
Yung pinakamura ngayon na makabuo ka ng studio sa bahay ay siguro laptop that can handle a recording, a DAW, a digital audio workstation, which can record stuff, no? Marami yan, may libre naman, may GarageBand kung may Mac ka. At kung PC, marami mga freeware dyan na mga libre, as in. And then, Ableton yung gamit ko. So, and if you want to mix it right, actually may mga producers dyan na mga sikat na mga yung iba, yun lang gamit nila, laptop lang nila, headphones, magaling yung tenga nila eh.
Yeah.
Talented din sila. So they mix it with that, and that's it. Pero, if you want to go push further, you can invest on a audio interface, not so that lumalabas yung audio nyo sa laptop nyo, tsaka monitor speakers, kasi to mix your stuff.
So is that like a Scarlett for the interface?
Yeah. Yung speakers, monitor speakers ang tawag doon, hindi basta-basta kung anong speakers lang. No? Yun, makakamix ka na ng tama nun. At makakapagtrabaho ka. Kunyari, may mag-hire sila sa'yo to edit audio, to make music for them, mag-edit ng sound design, yun na yun.
That's all you
You
need.
can use that. Isipin mo na lang, kunyari mag-invest ka on stuff like that, babawiin mo siya. Hindi lang itatrabaho mo siya eh. Hindi mo naman siya, kung yun yung goal mo, di ba? For all things naman na i-invest on, lagi ko inisip yun, paano ko ito mababawi? Di ba? Parang ganun. Magandang attack.
Okay. So ito, last question, Diego. Yun nga, so for the Able Podcast, we like to give practical advice to musicians. If you were to go back to a younger Diego Mapa, 97, what advice would you give? Or it's talking to the younger musicians out there just starting. What would you tell them? What does it take to make it today?
Ano pa rin, yun pa rin, be true to yourself. Do the things you love. Don't compromise because of what you watch or see in social media. Parang, sometimes you think kasi parang, should this be the thing I should be doing to become viral? Or parang, huwag niyo pansinin yung mga viral. Hindi mo kailangan maging viral. Alam mo yun? Hindi mo kailangan magkaroon ng maraming hits. Actually, yun yung mga, to the kids, that doesn't matter. What matters, what you bring out, what you like to do, and you deliver what you say. And then, yun nga, like-minded individuals will follow. Parang and even if your recording is DIY, you're your stuff is kind of rough and not like what you see in social media, okay lang yun. That becomes your shtick. That becomes your thing. The errors become your thing. So, nandun ako parate na parang, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for myself. And very rewarding siya.
All right, man. Thanks, man. On
Thank
that
you.
note, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Tiago Mapa.
Thank you.